We're going to spend the next couple assignments reviewing order of operations. Order of operations isn't bad, but you really have to have a good sense of order of operations if you're going to understand solving equations, because they're really similar. So order of operations. There are several mnemonics out there. Here's the one I like. No, that's not it. Pedal. The P stands for parentheses. And the next one is exponents. The next one is both division and multiplication together, because division and multiplication, you do them in together. The order of division and multiplication doesn't matter. If you do, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, you might go through and do all the multiplications first and skip over some of the divisions, and then the divisions might not work depending on how it's organized. So multiplication and division are treated the same, just like addition and subtraction. Now, why might that matter? Well, let's say I had this. 6 plus 2 minus 5 plus 4. If I just went through and did all the additions first, 6 plus 2 is 8, and negative 5 plus 4 is negative 1. That's actually going to be 7. If I do it the other way, it's still going to work, but multiplication isn't that way. If I had 6 divided by 3 times 2, if you do, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Oh, multiplication is above division. Let's double the 3 and turn it into a 6. Now 6 divided by 6 is 1. Is that the answer? No. No. 6 divided by 3 is 2, and 2 times 2 is 4. So you need to remember that division and multiplication are treated the same. And add and subtract are treated the same. What do you think the L's for? Not Lucy. Nice try. Left to right. So if you have a whole bunch of addition, which one do you do first? Start on the left and just work your way through. All right. So 4 plus 2 times 3. What do we do first? So according to Petal, there are no parentheses, there are no exponents, but there is a multiplication, which is also division. So we do 2 times 3 is 6. 4 plus 6 is 10. If you perform those operations out of order, 4 plus 2 would be 8, plus 3 is 11, and those two values are not the same. Oh, sorry. 8 times 3, well, that's even worse. 24. Still not the same. How did I ever graduate from college 3 times? Maybe I didn't. Okay. So let's do something a little more complicated. 2 times 4 squared minus 3. Which one do we perform first? 4 squared, that's exponents. It's second highest on the list. So 4 squared is 16. 2 times 16 would be 32. Minus 3 is 29. Okay. Now, when they get big like this, I like to go through and list the order of the operations. An operation is just add, subtract, multiply, or divide. How many operations do you see here? So there's one there, one there, one there, one there, one here, and one here. This problem has 6 operations. Of all of the operations, which one is first? Well, of these 6. So we have to look inside the parentheses. And when you look inside the parentheses, then you start the list over. Are there any parentheses inside the parentheses? No. Are there any exponents inside the parentheses? No. Multiplication. This would be step 1. Then what? But wait a minute. Doesn't exponents come before subtraction? But that exponent is outside the parentheses, so we need to finish the parentheses first and then move out and look through the list again. So this would be 2. What would the third operation be? The minus 6 would be 3. What's the fourth operation? The exponent. And then times by 6, and then plus 1. And remember, it's not the number that is in that order, it's the operation that's in the order. So it's not the 6 that's at step 5, it's the multiplication between the 6 and the parenthesis that's the 5th step. You don't order the numbers, you order the operations, the addition, the subtraction, the multiplication, and the division. So in this case, 4 times 2 is 8. 2 minus 8 is negative 6. Negative 6 minus 6 is negative 12. Negative 12 squared is 144. Oh boy, it's getting big. So 6 times 144 minus 2. Oh, it's in the wrong place, but whatever. Too big. 6 times 144. 862. Okay. Another thing that's important to remember, if you have a fraction, the top of a fraction and the bottom of the fraction are treated as though they have parentheses around them, even if they don't. So if I have 4 plus 8 over 2 times 3 minus 4, with a 3 out front and a minus 1 over here. Which operation is going to be first? So the plus in the top would be 1. The second operation, the 2 times 3. And then subtract 4 would be the third step. Not yet. So this would be 4, 5, and 6. So this is sort of treated as one big parenthesis. And the top and the bottom have their own parentheses. So on top, 4 plus 8 is 12. On bottom, 2 times 3 is 6. 6 minus 4 is 2. 12 divided by 2 is 6. Then we bring in the 3. 3 times 6 is 18. Minus 1 is 17. Is this all review? You might say, we know all this already, but understanding order of operations will help you solve equations later on. All right? Hey, that's your assignment, the order of operations assignment. It will be due tomorrow.